I'm going to pay money to see you, but also I'll try to undermine you at any moment.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times comedians destroyed hecklers.
There you go, I've got a Scottish person swearing at me there, thank you very much.
Sometimes people just want me to talk nasty to them, right? Then they get it and then they satisfy themselves. Shit.
Is that a piece of advice you feel necessary to give people pretty regularly, or because for the most part I think it doesn't come up?
For this list, we'll be looking at the funniest and most unforgiving instances of comedians laying into audience members who interrupted them on stage. Which comedian do you think has the best responses to hecklers? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. Now, let the heckling begin. Number 10. Steve Harvey. Most people know Steve Harvey as the outrageous host of Family Feud, but he has been performing stand-up comedy since 1985.
Well, goddammit, Charlotte, I got news for you. The Kangs is here.
And as it turns out, he is quite adept at one of the profession's more challenging obstacles. Harvey served as the master of ceremonies in Spike Lee's The Original Kings of Comedy and absolutely let it rip on various audience members who decided to leave in the middle of his set.
Hey, dog, where y'all going? This a movie we shooting. We just can't have the front row empty. Bring your ass back.
He decides to both steal and wear one of their coats. And when they return, Harvey digs into the wearer's seemingly questionable profession of computer technology.
You shouldn't even judge a book by its cover, but there's nothing about you that says computer or school.
The allegations are very thinly veiled, but Boogie takes it all in stride. Number 9. Michael McIntyre. Serving as one of the highest-grossing stand-up comedians of 2012, Michael McIntyre is well known for his work on Britain's Got Talent and the BBC One's Michael McIntyre's Comedy Roadshow. During one of his performances, McIntyre claimed that you don't mess with a Scot, owing it to their scary accent, resulting in a Scottish man yelling from the audience.
There you go, I've got a Scottish person swearing at me there, thank you very much. What was that?
You're a bastard!
Oh, that is. Oh, well, that's I don't know if that's the latest word you've learned, but I certainly know it's the first words that babies learn in Scotland. That's when they get excited.
This prompts McIntyre to launch into a 4-minute-long joke about Scottish people and their culture.
What's that you got there? Tape? Put some tartan packaging on that tape, my friend. That's Scotch tape. That's real man's tape.
Some of the best bits include McIntyre's convincing Scottish accent and a hilarious go at Scottish money, which you'll find is legal tender, by the way.
Try and spend that, pal. Good luck. You'll starve with oh so much frustration.
It's so funny and smooth that it seems like a scripted bit, not an off-the-cuff response to a heckler. Number 8. Russell Brand. Never have a go at Russell Brand. Not because you'll be insulted, but because you'll be subjected to a sit-down discussion, like Brand is your disappointed father. And that's even worse than being insulted. During his Rebirth tour, Brand was called a racist by someone in the audience.
It's you, is it? Come on then, let's have it out.
This prompted Brand to literally pull up a chair and briefly discuss elements of racism and identity in wider America and the issue with baseless accusations.
You must know, mate, not only is this a complicated time in this country where there are lots of different questions around identity, race, a lot of confusion around violence, a lot of confusion around fear, a lot of doubt in people's minds.
By the end, the heckler proclaims their love for Brand, and Brand returns the favor, flipping him a thumbs up in the process.
I've got to take those on. No more of that sort of silly business, you young man. I love you as well, good boy, that's more like it. Lights down.
He even calls the heckler a good boy, further proving that Brand is everyone's disappointed dad. Number 7. Bryson Turner. There are 2 elements that make up a great heckler comeback: comedic timing and word choice. Comedian Bryson Turner nailed them both. Turner is interrupted by a woman in the audience who claims that the first time he had sex was yesterday.
This is how bad I was at sex the first time. The first time I ever had sex.
Yesterday?
It's actually quite funny in context, and the audience shares a good long laugh at Turner's expense. Like a shark, Turner simply stands there and lets them laugh. waiting for his opportunity to strike. And then he let loose with 3 simple words that had the audience laughing even louder.
Glad you remember.
And the best part about it, the woman can be heard apologizing right before Turner lets her have it. Number 6. Hannibal Buress. While on his comedy commissado tour in Delaware, Hannibal Buress was interrupted by a heckler. Buress asks why they can't hold their liquor before launching into a brutal 3-minute-long diatribe.
When I'm drunk, I like to ruin 1 or 2 people's nights. A cab driver, a bartender, a woman that I'm seeing. That's what I don't go in a big venue like,
He begins with an especially fierce shot at the heckler, and it only gets worse from there. He also rightfully points out that the heckler isn't even appearing on camera, so their need for attention has been totally invalidated.
You, sir, are a social terrorist. You're a social terrorist. You have a bigger need for attention than I do. At least I worked at it and got on television. You just be in the darkness and shit.
And therein lies the differences in hecklers. Some do it for the fun, others for the attention, and those are the worst kinds of hecklers.
I'm fascinated with hecklers, like not just individuals, like the psychology of it. Where somebody's like, I'm gonna pay money to see you, but also I'll try to undermine you at any moment.
Number 5, Jimmy Carr. This English comedian is world-renowned for his dark humor and merciless wit, so heckling him is the last thing you want to do. Unfortunately, people just don't seem to get this.
I would love if I could just let it go, but I can't. There are rules. But you don't mind me sharing with the group, so it makes it much easier. We can go old school.
Carr has a long history of putting down hecklers in exceedingly brutal ways.
What's your name? Gary. Are you trying to say Gary? Watch me. Gary. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not afraid to throw around offensive names, he's made fun of Toby's mother and called someone the dumbest person in Glasgow, to the hilarious agreement of his wife. It's definitely a part of Carr's show as he openly welcomes hecklers, but they always look a little put down and hurt afterwards, almost as if they asked for it.
Stop stalling! Stop stalling! Don't panic, sir. I've got this. I'll have to put you on arsehole waiting.
Number 4, Daniel Tosh. Known primarily for his Comedy Central program Tosh.0, Daniel Tosh operates much like Jimmy Carr through his intentionally offensive and caustic style of humor.
When I came out the first time and I was like, hey, don't have them sit here, I was serious, and they didn't think I was, because I really didn't want you there.
While performing on stage, Tosh becomes distracted by 2 drunk men in the front and asks them to stop.
We're just going to edit around your talking, so try not to talk. Is that cool? All right, thanks, buddy.
When they don't, Tosh reaches into the audience and takes their drink. He proceeds to have them kicked out and places 2 other audience members in their seats.
Go through there. Go through. Yeah, I want you to take those 2 front seats right now. Yeah, you got tattoos. They'll listen to you.
What makes this one so great isn't Tosh's funny comebacks, as there really aren't any. He just seems legitimately pissed off and isn't afraid to let him know it. Number 3, Greg Giraldo. Before sadly passing away in 2010, Greg Giraldo became famous for his work on Comedy Central's hilarious roast specials. While performing a stand-up bit on Jell-O, someone in the audience tells Giraldo to avoid Utah's Jell-O, whatever that means.
I gotta say, I do have a few rules that I live by, and that's not one of them yet, but it's, I'm gonna definitely add that to my notebook of helpful hints.
Giraldo goes off on the ridiculous and nonsensical piece of advice for 2 minutes, and he somehow manages to make the subject of Jell-O absolutely hilarious.
You know what? You just ruined my whole summer vacation plans. Here I had rented the trailer, got myself a special spoon, nice bib. I was all set to make the trip down there.
It takes a special kind of comedian to make such a weird subject so captivating, but Giraldo was just such a comedian. But seriously, we want an answer. What's wrong with Utah's Jell-O?
Don't go to Utah for Jell-O. Is that a piece of advice you feel necessary to give people pretty regularly? Or because for the most part, I think it doesn't come up.
Number 2, Joan Rivers. World-renowned for her unique approach to comedy, Joan Rivers was yet another comedian with a coarse wit and a very un-PC style of humor. This is perhaps most evident in her stand-up A Glorious Piece, of which appeared in the 2010 documentary Joan Rivers, A Piece of Work. Rivers makes a joke about Helen Keller, which a man in the audience really didn't care for.
The only child that I think I would have liked ever was Helen Keller, because she didn't talk. And it's just...
Very funny.
Yes, it is.
Rivers, in turn, didn't care for his interjection, resulting in a truly hostile and confrontational yelling match between the two.
Then leave!
It's funny if you have a deaf son.
I happen to have a deaf mother. Oh, you stupid ass.
Let's just say that the word stupid gets brought up more than once.
Oh, please. You are so stupid. Comedy is to make everybody laugh at everything and deal with things, you idiot.
It's like watching your parents fight. All you can do is sit there in awkward silence.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Richard Pryor. Often regarded as the greatest and most influential stand-up comedian of all time, Richard Pryor captivated the world throughout the 70s and early 80s with his enjoyable storytelling, hilarious cultural observations, and endless profanity. He was also incredibly fast and utterly commanding of the audience, as evident in his special Here and Now. Pryor is repeatedly interrupted by hecklers, but Pryor handles them with incredible grace and maturity.
Well, thank you. Thank you, baby. You gonna out drunk each other? Show you right.
Yeah, he lets rip a fierce joke or two, but he doesn't spend minutes raging on the heckler, their looks, or their behavior.
Sometimes people just want me to talk nasty to them, right? Then they get it, and then they satisfy themselves. Shit.
He shows incredible composure, humility, and command, proving that the best thing you can do against a troll is to just ignore them.
I don't believe that shit.
Oh, you don't have to.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.